So the Plague Star bounty has finally returned. However, it's not the same bounty mission as before. Players just steamroll this mission before using Ember's Fire Blast, or Gara's Splinter Storm, or even an Ogris with Nightwatch Napalm, but now, those methods don't seem to work. Digital Extremes did a stealth buff to the Hemocytes, making a lot of players disappointed. But to be honest, I think this is how a boss should be. Well, I don't complain much on this changes as I'm kinda accustomed with this kind of bosses in Dark Souls, but at least, the developer should have announced that they'll be making these changes. But anyway, let me give you some really good tips that will help you pop those Hemocyte heads with ease. Before we could do anything to the Hemocyte, it is wise that we should know this enemy better. Basically, this reskin Lephantis boss is weak against puncture, slash, cold, blast, corrosive and radiation. The fossilized armor of this enemy is what makes it extra tanky, as it can mitigate some damage you deal. And, most players will suggest that you mod your weapon with corrosive and blast to deal the most damage. It's a good advice, but I have a better idea. Why not take that fossilized armor and go for radiation? I mean, there are a couple of ways to take away this boss armor in a couple of seconds. The first and probably the easiest way is to take corrosive projection aura in this fight. There are two ways. One is to have 3 times corrosive projection on your team with 3 times coaction drift to receive that 100% armor reduction. The other way, and probably the easiest, is the 4 of you bringing corrosive projection in this fight. Now I know some of you don't have corrosive projection on their aura slot, or you prefer another aura, so I have included more ways to strip the Hemocyte's armor. Another great way is to take advantage of the Shattering Impact mod, which strips enemy armors every time you deal impact damage on your melee weapon. Yes, I know, in paper its stripping capability is lame, but in reality, it's pretty useful in this fight. Now I usually use my Sarpo along with the Shattering Impact in this fight. With this gunblade, it will take just a few shots to strip that 2200 fossilized armor of the Hemocyte. Lastly, you can have Broberon in your team. With one cast of his Hallowed Ground and then Reckoning, you can easily strip that fossilized armor away. This is the usual setup I have for Oberon right now. I don't know what's the exact power strength for Reckoning to totally strip enemy armors. I guess it's around 200%. Sorry, I was too lazy to test it, as this build works for me. But please, if you know, comment it on the comment box below for clarity. Okay, let's talk about weapon choices. I've seen so many people running their Eidolon setup for this fight, which is not that good. The Hemocyte has a damage cap like the Lephantis boss, and it's really advised to bring rapid fire weapons and shotguns. Do not bring snipers on this fight, as you don't want high damage, slow firing weapons. There is a damage cap on the Hemocyte's weak points, that makes it so no single shot can do above a certain amount of damage. I don't know for sure if there's a flat threshold, or just swiftly diminishing returns, but it's there. My advice is, to bring rapid fire weapons like the Tenora or the Soma Prime, or any rapid fire weapons for this matter. Also, shotguns like the Archiplasma, Tigris Prime, and as well as the Corinth and Vakahek are really efficient for the Hemocyte fight. Since I don't worry about the fossilized armor anymore, I usually mod my weapon with lots of radiation damage. Also, modding for lots of critical is highly advised for this fight. And of course, a Riven mod will be a big help, but not really a must. If you are serious in dealing damage, then I suggest that you bring Titania on this fight. Titania with her Dex Pixia is a total beast in this mission. For my Titania, I usually have this mod set up and I have her Razor Wing Blitz augment for that extra movement speed, fire rate and damage. To make the fight a lot faster, I suggest some damage buffing frames in your team. My main guy for this fight is Rhino. I know there are other damage buffing warframes like Chroma or Octavia, but Rhino is more efficient in this fight. What I usually use here is a CC and buffing Rhino with little range, lots of efficiency and power strength. This build is perfect for me as a Rhino, because I can both buff my team, and as well as hold the Hemocyte in place so that my teammates can just hit those weak points when they are exposed. Now there are a couple of ways to CC the Hemocyte other than Rhino's Stomp. One is by taking Temporal Blast on the Zenuric tree with you. This operator ability does affect the Hemocyte and will make it pause for a couple of seconds, giving your team enough time to pop those weak points. But the best way, and probably the most fun I have for CCing the Hemocyte, is by bringing Nova. Nova is probably what I'm always using right now to CC the Hemocyte. You just need to mod her as a Slover, which only requires 145% power strength to make her molecular prime ability slow down the enemies. This is my current setup for my Nova, but you can change it depending on your playstyle. Just be mindful that you need positive power strength on this build for her slow and not the other way around. One quick bonus tip is bringing the arcane resistance for this fight. Those poisonous clouds does insane damage right now, especially if you up against that level 84 Hemocyte. Now I've been asked a couple of times whether or not it's good to farm those Hemocytes, and probably, my answer is yes. New content is always great and fun. And, new players probably would love to try this new boss and get those hunter mods themselves. Also, it's really easy to kill those Hemocytes given that you have the proper knowledge on how to do it. Well, this video does provide you all the knowledge, I hope. And I'm pretty sure you can do it easy right now. But for those who thinks that spawning those Hemocytes are just a hassle right now, then you can always choose not to spawn them. Anyway, you can get 2000 operational standings without those Hemocytes, which is really decent. In fact, you can do it solo if you are really focused on just farming those standings alone. Just remember that the infested catalyst are the ones that spawn the Hemocytes. Each Hemocytes does award 250 standing points and a chance to drop a certain hunter mods. So, if you are not into spending time with those Hemocytes, I suggest that you just add the Eidolon file axis on the mixing process. So that's it. That's how you pop those Hemocyte heads fast and easy. I really hope that you enjoy watching this video and find it informative in some way. Before leaving, please do me a favor and hit that like button. And, you are always free to join the grind team by simply clicking that big subscribe button below. Just remember to turn on notifications to receive new updates from this channel. As always, thank you so much for watching. Squad Leader signing off.